A lot has changed this past year, but one thing hasn't. Consumers still love their pizza. As you pivot to meet the new challenges of food service, Ardent Mills can work with you to tap into that love and make your crust the best it can be. After all, we're more than a leading source of trusted flour brands, mixes, and custom solutions. We're a resource for pizza operators like you. We're ready to support you with high-performing pizza flours, blend and mixes, unparalleled technical expertise, R&D innovation, and long-term contract pricing. And today, as always, we're here to help you grow and thrive. We invite you to check out the Pizza Hub to learn more and request a sample.
Welcome to a fresh new episode of Checking In. I'm Josh Keown, along with Denise Greer. Good morning, Denise.
Good morning, Josh. How are you?
I'm doing well. We have a great guest on the show today, Mr. Dave Garcia of Halftime Pizza in San Antonio, Texas. Dave, welcome to the show. It is wonderful to see you again.
Yes.
Dave.
Yeah. Fun. I always enjoy listening to these things and just, hearing you guys talk and all these new ideas. So glad to be here.
Yeah. Well, now it's your turn. So how about it?
Right.
Wow.
You get to throw out some ideas.
Yeah, exactly. We got to hear your scoop. Now, from watching the episodes, what are you like? Oh man, they should have told Pizza Day all about this. So what is it about your business that we just have to know?
About our business is, we've kind of tapped into I think a demographic that isn't really out there. My wife and I saw a big hole in it, and it was basically a family-friendly sports bar, right? So there's the big sports bars out there, and mainly testosterone driven. So we know why those exist, right? And
Right.
We get it. But we've got little ones, so we thought, let's create a concept where, if you've got kids and you want to go watch a game, you can, and have some great food and have some adult beverages and enjoy a night without feeling, as a male, uncomfortable, right? With someone coming to serve you, and as a female going like, oh, my husband brought me to this place, so everybody's very casual here, and we get as a bonus, we get a lot of end of game seasons coming in from kids sports teams, and it just kind of took off. So it did really well. The concept worked out. We got the second location going within a year, and just kind of kept building on that and working with schools, the local community, everything really. They took a liking to it, I guess, because there wasn't anything out there like that. Also for female sports enthusiasts, they're sometimes put in a situation to go to these other testosterone driven sports bars and like, wow, I really don't want to be here, but it's the only place I can really catch the game, whatever it is. So giving them a more comfortable place to enjoy that.
And how do you do that? How do you set aside that difference in audience?
So, well, what we do on our end is we end up, our servers are very comfortable, right? They're not being forced to wear certain outfits or anything like that. So they don't come across as like, hey, this is what we're doing. We're working towards getting a tip from you. And, it's more like, they're comfortable working. And I tell all my servers, I want you to be you, right? During the interview process, I always interview them and I see, a characteristic in them, a trait that I think my customers might enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
So once they're hired and they go through training, then it's kind of like, okay, I want you to be you, be comfortable, right? You got the job, and now here's, the product knowledge, and, here's what we're featuring, and go with it. And it's been working out really well. And then of course the customers, they get to know each person, each server, each manager. And it just, they tend to come to their favorite store with their favorite, server or manager or cook, because we have an exposed, so a big chunk of a corner wall is missing, and you can clearly see into our kitchens. I mean, it's, purposely, because I tell my guys in the kitchen, like, look, we're under a microscope, so you got to keep it clean, you got to work hard, you got to work fast. Some people, I, being a chef, enjoy seeing that view and hearing, somebody calling out shots and, calling for a side of fries or, whatever it may be. You hear people saying the word heard and just operate. I'd rather watch that than the game. but it makes them work more efficient and cleaner. So it works out well for everybody.
Yeah. And how has that been, being a sports centered pizzeria in a time where sports really took a back seat in this last year, and with dine-in, I know you're in Texas, so I don't know, your dine-in's a little different. You guys been able to open and close. How has it been for you
Well,
individually?
yeah, initially it was, hit the brakes, turn the engine off. We're like, well, okay, now what? Right? No one's coming in. Luckily, being pizza, we have already to go established. We have delivery established. So we kind of, as an industry, had, a step ahead of other types of restaurants out there. So we kept pushing on that end. And then when they allowed us to deliver alcohol, that was even better. So, beer and margaritas and all that good stuff, bottled wines, everything was, so it was kind of nice. So it was really nice. But then at some point it's like, okay, my servers were struggling, right? They weren't making the money. So the tips were coming in, but they were more to the kitchen. So the kitchen staff was really happy. They're like, wow, this is nice. They're getting and tips. Oh, yeah, you guys are killing me. But so what we were doing was, once we got to open up again, I think initially it was, I don't remember. I think it went 25%, then it went 50%, then back down to 25. And then the governor finally said, you guys are 100%. And I'm like, wait a minute. It's not over, right? The pandemic. So we still kept the mask rules in place, social distancing in place. And then, but we're open 100%, and it's a little scary, but we have a place. We're still very clean, and all the hand sanitizer everywhere, and wiping down handrails and all that good stuff. So the problem now lies in that we're 100%. However, they're still paying unemployment. So we can't get people to work.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm hearing that's a problem everywhere right now.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's really tough. So, I've heard some people are doing sign-on bonuses to employees, after 90 days, pay them out. And I don't want to do that, but it's getting tough with two stores. For example, today I hit one store at 4 a.m. and ran till about 9:30. And then I came here to the other store.
Whew.
I got the store going, and then quick chat with you guys, and then jump in for lunch, and then probably work till 8 o'clock. So
jeez,
it's a long day.
Yeah, well, it's that, or my wife was even thinking, well, maybe we'll close down one day. So I'm thinking, well, because we're a 7-day operation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so now I'm thinking, okay, we close one day. What day do you choose? Obviously not Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, and then Sunday you got football, basketball. So we're sports driven. Monday, same thing. There's sports every night. So I'm like, what do we do? So right now I'm carrying a lot of the weight. It's a good thing I love what I do. We're hiring people, and we just need good work ethic. Someone that wants to show up and work, and then I'll take it from there. I think the passion. We're fortunate. We have a couple guys that at each store that are passionate about bread making, and some are passionate about pizza. Maybe that was just contagious, right? They got that from me, and now they're willing to teach as well. So the crew's working really hard. We have a lot of pats on the back, high fives. We do a lot of bonuses now too. I figure let's give the bonuses to the people who are here instead of potential employees wanting to apply. So we're taking really good care of our staff.
Yeah.
So pre-pandemic, were you working these 80-hour weeks, or did you have a pretty full staff where you could, relax just a little bit?
One of the problems is I know I'm a workaholic. Like I really love being in my pizzerias, but I love my family as well. So I did have more time off with them, but I still touch each store every day. I may not have been working as much physically, right? I wasn't maybe the guy in there scrubbing down the fryers and the floors and stuff. We had people doing that, but I was still in there working and doing prep work. But I was probably working, I'd say maybe 50, 60 hours roughly, and now it's like, we're back up to, I don't know, over 100 probably. Yeah,
It's
I don't
probably
want
best
to
not to count. It's probably best not to even count.
Yeah, don't count it.
No, when I was in culinary school, one of my instructors told me, the best advice I can give you is never find out what you make hourly. You don't want to know.
No, you really don't want to know. Not with 80 to 90 hour work weeks.
Yeah, no, it's rough. But again, I enjoy it. I really do enjoy it. I've learned so much. I mean, I started probably over 20 years ago and with another partner, and we had done Alamo Pizza. And
I remember that.
And then we split, and I ran with Alamo City Pizza. I opened that up and ran that for a long time. And then I came up with this concept with Halftime Pizza. And so I've learned so much over those 20 years that, it's hard to not do it. Right.
Yeah.
It's really hard to, like, I wouldn't know what to do if I worked 40 hours. I'd be like, what do I do with these extra 20? I don't know. So,
Well, let me ask you a question. I do see a couple of operators and in different, pizza or other restaurant segments where they'll do like a traditional shutdown during a certain time where, they take a week or 4 days or whatever, and they say, hey, look, from July 3rd until July 8th, we're shut down. That's it. Have you guys ever done that, or have you ever thought about doing that kind of shutdown where you can get a little bit of R&R?
Yeah, that's kind of popped up, right? My wife and I have discussed it, and it's just the burden weighs on what is my staff going to do for income, and we've got some single moms that work for us. We have, guys that are trying to put themselves through school, guys that are working through a trade as well. So they're going to school, and the way I see it, they may be putting in time hourly for their education and then putting in work hours. So they're working just as much, and it's just tough. I rather give them, day or two off during the week, and then, they still have an income coming in, and it's helping them out. And, we keep running. So it'll come, right? Eventually, everything seems to be slowing down as far as the case numbers are going down.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it seems like we're, there's light at the end of the tunnel. So it's not too much. And then once we hit we get fully staffed again, I'm taking some time off.
Oh, I got you.
Definitely taking some time off.
Much deserved. Well, we are in the midst of a major sporting event right now. I can't really say the actual words of it right now.
We'll get yanked off YouTube.
There's a major basketball college sports happening right now. Are you doing anything? Are you seeing an uptick with that, even though it's such a different environment? Because I know they're out of Indianapolis right now, just doing the entire tournament.
Well, we did have, for us, one of the championship games was, the female game was here in San Antonio. So that helped out a lot. But what we were doing on our end was we kind of created a bracket, and it was free. They purchased something, and then they got to draw a number out of a hat, and then that put them at whatever seed they drew out. And as long as that seed kept advancing, they kept getting more and more discounts per win. So it was kind of a cool thing to do. It kept the sales coming in, and then when we did get to open up dining rooms and stuff like that, they would come in and watch it because they would get a certain discount if their team was playing. So it was cool. It was fun to see, and tonight supports got a big game going on, so that's going to help out. Just a lot of. Anytime there's sports like that, it definitely helps us out as far as, driving some extra sales. And it's funny because we'll get people who just like our food, right? And it's kind of like, can we put the music on instead of the game? And I'm like,
it's kind of our thing, man.
But,
kind of our thing.
But it's definitely, that's also a big compliment to us as well when people are just coming in just because of the food.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that puts everything behind it. And we work so hard on developing a good crust and a great pizza and the cheese melt, and you name it, all of it, and stuff that we're nerds about, that we love to see. And most people, it just kind of goes over their head. But, you know, when you see someone take a bite of that pizza and kind of nod their head, you're like, oh, yeah, that's great. And so it's kind of cool.
Well, I tell you what, we know you have a huge workload ahead of you today. So I'll go out on one final question. You know, you've got 2 locations, you know, you have this, when did you switch to halftime, by the way? What year was it?
2014?
It was about 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what's next with halftime? Are you able to start planning now that we're kind of getting over this hump of the COVID?
Yeah. So we're peeking our heads into different avenues as far as, you know, maybe just do a halftime express type thing where we're going to open up hopefully somewhere close, maybe a high school, and just sell by the slice, do a little slice house. Or we've always been getting ready for franchise mode. So that's always in the works in the back. We're, you know, documentation, work instructions, all that good stuff, getting it all lined up just in case we do decide to seek investors and go that route. I mean, you know, or do we take the monster on ourselves? What I tell my wife though is that there's a price to pay, and not only financially, but, you know, personally. And I've got 2 kids, a 12-year-old and an 8-year-old, and I kind of like where we're at. You know, I told my wife, like, you know what, we're doing really good. You know, the family's happy, you know, things are good for us. So let's just maybe keep it like this. I mean, that's always an option, because I could take on the monster and maybe lose it on that end, you know, and it's kind of, you know, at the end of it all, you know, what did it boil it down to? It should have boiled down to just happiness and family. And
absolutely.
And, you know, it's definitely fun to be there with my wife and kids. So all that very tempting, right? That dangling carrot, and I want to go after it because of the type of person I am. But, you know, I see a field of carrots with my kids, and it's kind of like, that's awesome too. I'd rather just do that. And if they want to take it on later and they go franchise, go for it, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, right now, it sounds like you got balance right now, and that's all. I mean, that's the most important thing you can ask for.
Especially with when a lot of businesses are, you know, didn't make it out, you know. So you know, we're blessed in that sense that you know, we're thriving, we're doing well. But it just doesn't happen, right? That happens through effort and creativity and things like that. So we're just there's options, but
staying steady and consistent. I like it.
I think so. Yeah. I'm not getting any younger, so.
Right.
Neither are we.
Well, hey, if you need a vacation, you know, you can always come to Pizza Expo in August, and we'd love to see you there.
Absolutely.
We're definitely, my wife and I are talking about Pizza Expo, trying to make time and get people lined up here to free us up so we can, you know, break away and head out there. So
that'd be great.
At first, when you guys were going to do it in June, we thought, you know, we had a commitment in June, so I thought, I'm going to miss it this year. Yeah. But then when I got pushed back, I was like, okay, I think I have a shot. So we might make it out there.
We're really happy with the August dates. I got to tell you, we are really happy with a mid-August show.
Because we didn't know with June, it's like, it could be good or not. I don't know. But August, I think we feel a lot more comfortable about it.
Yeah. And I think a lot more people are getting vaccinated. And
Josh is 100% vaccinated.
I'm already 100%.
I still have one more shot to go. So I'm almost there.
You'll be there. We got our shots. We're good. So we're like, we're happy about it. So hopefully we'll see you guys out there for sure.
Well, that's great. Well, good luck to you. You know, try to rest in those little hours that you get to rest and hang out with your family, and we'll hopefully see you in a couple months.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Love hearing from you guys.
All right.
You guys did a great job.
Yeah.
Take care, Dave.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.